I wanted to talk to you guys about marketing. So, I've had a preschool for 9 years. We are a bilingual preschool in Concord. And I wanted to tell you about my experiences with getting my school going 9 years ago, and then what marketing looks like for me today. So, when I first started, I had no money. Literally, I had nothing. I was not investing, $100,000 into a franchise. I was doing this for myself, by myself. As a matter of fact, I used furniture from my home to start the school. So, literally, I needed chairs for my lobby, those came from my living room. I needed toys for my playroom, those came from my children's rooms. So, I literally used things around my home to be able to decorate and kind of get my school going. I did not take out a loan. I never took out loans because if anything happened and the school went under, I never wanted to be in a situation where now I not only don't have a job, I don't have my business anymore, but also I owe the bank tons of money. So that was a personal choice that I made. Loans can be a very good way to start a business, but for me personally, that's not something that I wanted to do. So I just used the little bit of money that I had in my savings and furniture for my home. So, needless to say, when I started my preschool, my marketing budget was $0. Zero, nothing. I had no money to spend on marketing. Um, and that first day that I opened, I had 8 students in my classroom. And one of them was my own child. So I didn't even have to market to anybody to get her. So I'm going to just share with you some things that I did that were either free or very low cost. So the first thing that I did was made a website. I saw a lot of responses in your assignments this week about making a website, and that is absolutely one of the most fundamental things that you must do for your business is to create a website. The reason for that is because everybody is in a digital world. That's the first thing we do, right? If I hear about something, I Google it. I go to try to find its presence on the web. That is a way for me to be able to connect with a company or a business without having to take the time to call and talk to a person, which a lot of us, we don't want to talk to people. I don't want to talk to somebody until I know that I'm ready to invest. So, this is a way for people to come to you without you even realizing that they're doing that. So, building a website is absolutely vital. That's something that you have to have. Another great idea is flyers. Now, here's the thing about flyers. So I have a master's in education, but I also have a master's in business. I have an MBA. And one thing that I learned during some of my marketing classes and talking during my MBA was that handing out flyers or giving out a business card or telling somebody about your website is very passive, right? Because I'm going to give them that flyer and I'm going to hope that they don't throw it away or lose it in their car or their child takes it and draws a picture. So just giving somebody a piece of paper with your information does not ensure that they're going to come to you, does not ensure that they're going to explore further. All that does is literally say, hey, here I am, and you're hoping that they're going to follow up on that. So the best thing to do would be to text someone, hey, yeah, it's great talking to you. I love that you've let me share about my preschool or my daycare with you. Can I just text you some information really quick? And that way you have their cell phone number and they have your number. So if they have questions, they can respond to you. But you can just text them the name of your website or text them a recap of what you just discussed. And then if you want to follow up with them later, you can. You can send them a text message. Hey, I was just thinking about our conversation that we had last weekend. If there's anything that I can help you with, or if you have more questions, please let me know. Either they're going to ignore you because they're just not interested, and that's okay, or they're going to say, oh, yeah, I meant to message you. So I want to make sure that when we're talking about flyers that you understand this is a very passive way to go about things. But I have gotten business from flyers. So what I did was I made a flyer and I went around to businesses in the area that were within a mile of my preschool. A lot of these places were within walking distance or driving a very short way. Who you're marketing to are people who may work at these places or may shop at these places. They can drop their kids off, go do their normal shopping or working, and then come back and pick the kids up in its very close proximity. Um, so, fun story about that. I put up a flyer and I spent hours looking over this flyer, double checking and checking and checking. Were there any typos or anything like that? And I got a phone call. I was so excited. I got a phone call about my flyer. Answer the call. This is Rachel. How can I help you? And I could hear laughing in the background. This is 9 years ago. Okay, so I'm still bitter about this moment, by the way. And the lady on the phone is pointing out all of the things wrong with my flyer. I misspelled a word, and I did not put the address of my preschool on the flyer. Even though I had the phone number and the website, the address was left off. And I can't remember, there was another thing, but there are 3 things that she pointed out to me about my flyer. So nobody actually called me about my flyer to enroll, but someone absolutely called me to tell me all of the things that I had done wrong. I'm telling you that story because number one, have your friends who have not been looking at your flyers for hours and hours and hours double check to make sure that your spellings are correct and that you've included your name, the center name, your address. Don't forget it. Somebody's going to call you and tell you forgot it. The website, your email address, all of the different ways that they can contact you. Also, don't be surprised that you're going to put information on your flyer and somebody's going to call you and ask you about the information that's on your flyer. They're going to say, is there an email address? And it's on your flyer. But people do that. They overlook stuff. But that did get me a client. I got one client out of that. And it was very low cost for me to print up some color flyers. Make sure you look at Staples and places like that, online printing companies, if you're going to be printing a lot. I learned in my marketing class to think about, if you do have a marketing budget and you're going to print up flyers, really think about how you're spending your money. Because I don't know about you, but when I get something in the mail, I literally stand at my trash can outside of my house and I go through to see if there's anything that's marketing material that I'm not interested in, and I throw it away right then. So you may be tempted to spend a ton of money on heavyweight paper or extra glossy paper or all of these extra colors, and you're pumping a lot of money into that. But remember that 90% of the flyers that you send out are going to go in the trash. So just be mindful. Nobody's going to say, oh my goodness, look at the gloss and the highlighting that they put on that flyer. They're going to stick it on their fridge anyway if it's something that they're interested in or pertains to them. So just be mindful about those choices. Something else is a lot of people talked about social media marketing. 100% social media marketing has been my biggest, has been the best advertising that I have ever done. In the beginning, I had no money to market. Facebook has been my chosen platform just because, I don't know, I'm old and that's where I am. I'm on Facebook a lot. I'm not really on Instagram or Twitter, but you should look at Instagram and Twitter also. But Facebook has been my chosen marketplace to advertise. I will say that Facebook advertising can be expensive, and it's kind of trial and error in the beginning to get your marketing just right, to be able to find your target audience, what age groups, what gender, all that kind of stuff. It takes a little bit to get that perfect. So in the beginning, if you don't have any money, look at yard sale groups. Go to yard sale groups add yourself to Mommy and Me groups. Look at groups that serve the population that you're looking for. We had, there was one person that I mentored who was wanting to open a preschool specifically for people who are part of the LGBT community. So my suggestion was to go to those groups of people on Facebook, the social groups that you can find, market yourself in those groups. Find who your target audience is, whether it is location or are you looking for a certain age of mom? Are you looking for a certain, whatever dynamic you're looking for? Find those groups on Facebook and market to them. And that's free. You can post in a yard sale group for free. And you can find a lot of people that way who will spread the word about your program. excuse me, I have a drainage situation happening. Vendor events.